Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. Better Call Saul, Season 6, Episode 4, Hit and Run. And you know, every time I think that this show might let down, might drop, not give me an episode that I want, I realize that this episode is made, or this creative team is made of sterner stuff. I don't know if that's what they were talking about just in general, but no. What another really awesome episode with another build-up. I mean, really what we got with last week's episode was the end, and they mentioned this in the Insiders podcast, and I said this last week too. We got the climax of a 3-episode arc movie that was leading up to the end of the Nacho arc. We really got that, and now we're sort of starting, not over again, but we're starting at a foundation point. This is the first act of whatever they're building with, where I cannot believe we're already down to only 3 episodes now. Till when? What kind of cryogenic freeze do I need to go into to wait for the last episodes? July? Is it July? Is that what it is? So we only have 3 more episodes after this. So I think it's going to progress really quickly. Amazing episode for Kim tonight, which is doubly amazing when you think that she directed this episode. And I believe it was her first directorial debut. So a lot of times when you see actors do directing episodes, you see it's sort of a lesser role in the episode itself. But this was really a Kim episode. I mean, it was a Kim and Jimmy episode. Those of you that have been wanting a Kim and Jimmy episode, this is the one. The other thing I really liked, or there was a lot I liked about this episode, but the other thing that was interesting that they did a lot in this episode were parallels to season 1. They bring us a lot back to some of our season 1 and our early season characters, the interactions that they have, how people are looking at Jimmy differently post the Salamanca thing. That's very interesting, the way that's being depicted. Kim getting us, and obviously the big highlight of this particular episode was Kim and Mike talking together. Now, what a scene that was. Amazingly enough, thinking about this show and looking at this show and seeing all these main characters, so many of the 2 halves of the show haven't worked together necessarily at different times. Maybe one-offs here and there with passing characters. Nacho worked with both halves. There was some crossover, but we haven't seen Kim with Jimmy yet. And this was real. I'm sorry. We have seen Kim and Jimmy together. We haven't seen Mike with Kim yet. And it was really cool to see that set up in this episode, because this show manages to do something really amazing and ultimately give us something that they can throw in fan service type stuff, and it doesn't seem fan servicey to me. I don't know what that's about, and I mean, I think I do, because everything in the writer's room that they try to figure out, if they're going to do something like this, they need to rationalize it to themselves to figure it out. And that's the exciting part about it. So when you see Mike, hear Mike's voice in that thing, and you're thinking about who's following her, and they set it up that Mike's in the coffee shop or in the diner waiting for her to talk, it didn't seem like, oh, okay, they're just putting Mike and Kim together for no apparent reason. It actually feels like it's justified in the scene, because it makes sense to what's going on in the scene itself. That's how they do this stuff well. And the Mike and her scene was exceptionally well done. One thing I want to point out, and I'm sure it was intentional, obviously the made of sterner stuff, but Mike really, I've never heard Mike talk to anybody like that. And I don't mean that in a bad way, like he talked to her down. He gave her, in that one scene, more respect than we've seen him give Walter, Jesse, Gus, any of Gus's men, definitely Jimmy, definitely fucking Jimmy. He really respects her, not just as a lawyer, not just as someone that cares about Jimmy, someone he has a passing interest and care for, maybe in some small place. But really as a player, as how she made him, as he can just spot her being the stronger of the two, and basically everything that we've been talking about here out of this podcast the last couple of weeks. Mike gives it to us right there across the face. And it was really done exceptionally well, the way it unpacks Kim like that. But then when Kim really starts to see it, you can see it at different times in this episode that she might, I'm not saying having doubts, but she's understanding the gravity of her situation and seeing the the world around her sort of set up. And Jimmy, oh, God bless Jimmy. Jimmy's just one of those guys, and the more time goes on, the more you kind of realize it. Yes, he's a destructive force. Yes, he's someone that if you connect with, you kind of go down a dark path sometimes. But he's like a good guy. He's so innocent. He's just once now that he's starting to get over the desert thing and he's starting to come up, his brain's starting to come up. He's starting to realize the gravity of the situation. I don't mean the gravity of dealing with the cartel and what everything that comes. I mean the gravity of the benefits that gave to him for doing that. And he's starting to feel solid in his relationship with Kim, really being himself, letting out as much slip in Jimmy. She's egging him on, she's emperoring him at times. And in this episode, you see how he's just so innocently, they showed very excellent parallels to Jimmy and Kim, or Saul and Kim. And even like everyone being rude to Saul at the office doesn't bother him at all. He's just blank to it in a certain extent. Like, oh, well, really? Yeah, everyone's not liking me. That's okay. And then it just gets down to business and he has a great day. Oh, you had a bad day? No, it's a great day. I got tons of business. And let's open this up. It's about time. Let's open this up to the live. Of course, I'm not alone tonight. Whenever I do this, I might be alone as in hosting this thing at the moment right now. Who knows? Joe Dirty Locks might pop in at some point. But if not, I am here with you tonight. But I'm obviously not alone. I have with me, as always, the live motherfucking chat. Damn, the live motherfucking chat. Let's see who we got. We got Jack Me Off. We got Julian. We got Melly, Mick. We got Big E. Who put out Big E. I have to think. I don't want to be that guy, but Nacho liked the tweet Big E and myself were part of, thanking him for the performance. So that was kind of silly, cool, and I like those sort of cheesy things. And also I want to start off by giving a huge thank you to the Vivid Kiwi here, who pops in our chat all the time and does some amazing Better Call Saul stuff. So make sure you check out his channel, and thank you so much for the shout out this week. I very much appreciate everyone that checked out the most past recent episode, which obviously was a huge episode of television. And I thank all the support and everyone that left comments and kept that going and kept pushing that video. I asked for you guys to share it and put it out there, and it got some good views for me. So thank you so much for that. I definitely appreciate that. And hey, oh my goodness, longtime lurker gets to watch it last on a night shift. Fallen Blade, great to see you in the live chat. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for this Better Call Saul babblery as I'm waking myself up with a shot here. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. This toast is to you and to anyone watching live. If you want to get your comments or questions in, you can do that at 781-990-8509. 781-990-8509. And if you're listening to this way after the fact and you want to leave a question or comment, you can do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'd use that line for other shows as well. So make sure if you call not during a show, you say this is for Better Call Saul. So I make sure I play it for that. But everyone, thank you so much. Let's get into the chat and see what some of you guys are saying about tonight's episode. I know I loved it. This was a great first chapter of another story that's getting ready to be told. Lalo's out there. Lalo is out there. You can feel him in this episode without him being there. This episode had some of the... And I'll point it out in the recap. There's some moments where there's like some simplistic things that happen and that are some of the most tense, simplistic things. The way Kim is bouncing her ponytail at one point is oddly simplistic and oddly tense in different ways. So let's see what people in the chat. Yes, and I forgot to mention, thank you, Jay. We had a Wendy sighting in this. Also, very much made sense. That one I kind of figured with the episode description about a pro from town. But that was still good to see Wendy, and I thought the scene worked. And I don't know if it was foreshadowing or anything that Kim reached out to her and said, if you ever need help, I will help you, no charge. But Kim in this episode, this seemed like those are those people that think Kim might die in this timeline, in the Jimmy Saul early timeline here. This was a good episode for your predictions. I was scared for Kim in this episode. There was a lot of Kim death foreshadowing in my visual depiction of what was happening in this episode. But again, watching Better Call Saul, or especially Better Call Saul, you're playing against a poker player that knows your hand, that knows you know their hand. They know that you know. They bluff when they're strong, that you bluff when you are strong, and you act meek when you're weak, or whatever, the other way around. Strike that, reverse it. So they can kind of throw a bunch of different patterns at you. So I know what they're trying to tell me. I don't know what they're actually trying to do. Another thing that I said last week that was interesting, that basically they called their shot. They said that too. They said, no, we didn't give up spoilers. We didn't worry about leaks for last week's episode because we basically told you that Nacho's dying and we just wanted to do it. So that's basically what happened. They just did it. They called their shot. And again, in scenes like in this episode, they show those parallels. They call their shot. They almost tell you what they're going to do, and then they just do it. And I feel like they're telling us Lalo's coming. Lalo's going to Jimmy and Kim. I keep wanting to say Jimmy and Kimmy for some reason. I know what reason, because alliteration. But still, motherfucker. Okay, so yeah, don't end it there. The episode ended at, you're like, no, don't end. We get to see John Haymaker in the live chat. Wonder if the golden toilet is the one in the episode. It is funny that they did mention a toilet in this particular episode. Thisby says, Jim and Kimmy going to eat at Taco Cabeza at the end of the episode. Walter asks Jesse where he'd like to do his meetups, Taco Junkyard meetups. And Jesse says, half the deals I ever done went down to Taco Cabeza. Nice, public, open 24 hours a day. No one ever gets shot. Very interesting. Good callback to Breaking Bad. And again, those subtle little things that they can put in without making it ridiculous like some other shows can do, Picard. And they just make it so ridiculously stupid and obvious, and not understanding the meaning behind the parent show situation, Picard. And it's awful. But what they did there is really cool. You know, it's like a subtle little thing that they put in there that actually works and dials back to something Jesse said that makes sense to what Jimmy and Kim are doing in that moment. I'm guessing that Jimmy finds out that Lalo is alive, and they tell him that Nacho sold Lalo out and Nacho has vanished, and that's it. Jimmy doesn't find out. And Jack Me Off, great episode. Pop, Juliana the lone hooker shoe from some scam storyboard showed up. Do I know you is what Kim said to Mike, and Mike said to Hector at the dinner table. And that's the other thing we learned even more so in this episode. That's why I'm saying it was Kim's episode. And I love how she, Reese Sehorn, got to direct this episode. And it fit right in. It worked. It had a humor and sense of life to the whole episode too. Really great. And I know I'm going to be freaking kissing Kim's ass all night tonight, but this was her episode in every way possible, being, the director and stealing the show and acting. Tony! Oh, we got Tony Pajamas in the live chat. Great to see Tony Pajamas, one of the greatest names in all of motherfucking chat history. I love Tony Pajamas, and as I mentioned, I'm going to start a brand of pajamas called Tony Pajamas. I'm calling it out here. I'm going to give you, a finder's fee, Tony Pajamas. But I want to create a line of Tony's pajamas. I don't know who Tony is, but it sounds awesome. If I'm not going to do it, you got to do it. Oh, sorry. I haven't taken my super chat shot yet because I'm already buzzed. I took one drink before I started, and I'm like, I'm already buzzed. Look at me. I'm Better Call Saul. Check it out. No, I'm not really. There we go. Okay. Also, and we'll get to it. We're going to break down this whole episode and explain what happened, get into what we think is going to be happening next, and look back at every scene that happened. But a couple of quick thoughts. We get the Gus, Mr. Rogers thing. I don't know if anyone else saw it that way, but to me, it played as a reverse Mr. Rogers, some evil Mr. Rogers stuff. And I really enjoy the orchestration aspect of some of the music that they're doing this season. It's different. It's adding a kind of interesting edge to it all, and I think it really works for the scenes. That was one of those scenes, the reverse Gus Mr. Rogers stuff. We'll get into that. Paying homage to season 1, directed by Kim herself, had a huge acting thing in this particular episode, and to be the episode that she also directed, I think that deserves extra special attention. Can we give this fucking woman an award? Seriously. We're talking about Michael Mondo from last week. Bob obviously deserved one. I think Michael McKean deserved one at one point in time in this show. But really, for fuck's sake, people, can we give Reese Horn, and I might be mispronouncing your name, I'm sorry. I called Michael Mondo Mark Mondo for half the show last week, but it doesn't mean I don't think your performance is great. It means I'm horrible with names. But Reese Horn, she seriously deserves awards. Give her an award, a consideration, something. And that's one of the reasons why I think they're cutting the 2 seasons into 2 halves instead of giving us, 14 episodes total, or is it 13 episodes total? Whatever. Instead of giving us all of the episodes, I think it's 13 episodes total. Instead of giving us all the episodes at once, they're splitting it in half so the show can be available for 2 separate seasons of awards. Not that those awards fucking matter, but they matter to people getting parts after the fact. So I want to see her get lots of work after this because she's freaking awesome. Same with Michael Mondo, and I know Bob's gonna work. He's gonna be Bob Odenkirk. Will probably go do another season of Mr. Show somewhere or something. He'll get a show. He'll do stuff. Bob Odenkirk isn't gonna have a problem working after this. Not that Reese Horn is, but I want to see her get tons. Give this girl a part. Give me an action movie starring freaking starring Nacho with what's his name, the guy playing Lalo as the villain. I want both those guys to get really awesome shit after this, and I especially want Reed to get some good work because she's awesome and she's done exceptional work on this show. And tonight, directing as well is not an easy task to do both when it's such an acting heavy part of her story in this one. It would be one thing if she directed, last week's or something where she wasn't really in it, but in this episode where she's really an active character in it, and some of these setups are just very interesting that she was the one to do the setups. So I like it. I like it a lot, and really fucking awesome. Oh, Jack me off is right in the live chat. Mike heard her talk to Lalo. Jay, I agree. We need a scene in which Mike tells to Jimmy to blame it on Ignacio. That's how we get Saul in Breaking Bad. It wasn't me, it was Ignacio. Absolutely. Good point and great connection back to Breaking Bad. Someone pointed out in the live chat, I'm sorry if I'm not giving credit or something, but about Saul mentioning Ignacio and that. I've mentioned 1,000 times that he mentions Lalo as well. So that could be a good explanation to us to why Saul doesn't know about any of this. And some of this could all be laid right on Kim's doorstep instead of Saul. We're going to break it apart when we get to it, but I love the whole her and Mike. And I love that now that she's in the game, Mike doesn't have to deal with Jimmy. He doesn't have to deal with crazy Jimmy. I know they're going to cross paths again here and there, but the desert was enough for both of them. And Mike respects Kim. Mike respects Kim more, and I said this earlier too, and I'll say it 100 times. Mike seems to respect Kim more than anyone we've seen him respect so far. And it's cool. He has a different tone to the way he was talking to her. Just straight up. The way he was phrasing things, his vocal cadence and tone was different in that scene than it was to the way he talks to anybody. The closest is Gus, to the way he talks to Gus sometimes when he's paying him respect. But even Gus, he's giving him, listen, I know better than you sometimes, Gus. But with Kim, he was really talking like almost just this laugh of impressed, but not laughing at her, but just very serious, not taking anything she says for granted, understanding that she knows a lot. Mike respects Kim. Gus wears a clip-on tie because it's safer when you get into a fight. Nothing for an opponent to grab. The tie will release. Gus is nothing but smart. Biggie, great to see you. No video of your handsome self tonight. Jeffrey Townsend, now that I'm on camera, do you want me to put up, like, if it's between looking at me and her all night, I'll look at her, but I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll flip my hair to you, sir. Where's the video feed? I'm back. Sorry. I like to start off the beginning, so I get through my start of the show extra awkwardness with a picture up quickly. But nothing wrong with the video feed. I am back here. Thank you so much for that. Gus's basement is like the young Frankenstein. Put the candle back. Corey Mitchell. Jimmy seems to like a fun-loving guy, like someone you would play not harmful pranks on you, but hilarious ones. That's what I'm saying, Corey Mitchell. Jimmy, the more it goes on, you realize that Jimmy is just, he's a good guy. Saul is a good guy, even when he's becoming full Saul. Yes, he does some fucked up stuff, but at core, he's just a fun kind of prank-oriented, cares about winning, but he's not too cutthroat, and he's also not mean-spirited at all, and he's not, I don't know, it's all about fun for him, in a sense. It's the high of the fun. Jimmy just seems like, Jimmy's makeup artist has really made him look like Howard. That was really well done. And I also have to compliment the show for standing true to the burn from the desert and holding true to that for a while too. But yeah, Jimmy looking like Howard was done hilariously well done. And that's what this show doesn't cut corners on any little moment. Even little moments that they can think they can cut, you could think possibly cut corners. Just having him like look to the Howard thing. It was funny as hell. And I said this last week. Sometimes they let Bob be Bob. You know, he's an excellent actor. He does the dramatic stuff really well, and they let him be Bob more on more on Breaking Bad. But occasionally, this show has always been not just human drama. I get my balls in a niche. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I get all wrapped up with how much character depth and how interesting this storyline is. And it is. I'm not taking away from this with what I'm saying. But the show also has this scammery, fun energy to it that it's had through pretty much every season of the show. Having a couple of episodes where Jimmy's doing a scam, there's some fun music playing and some stuff's happening, and it's lighthearted. It's still a show about Saul Goodman. And they, again, what Vince and Peter do exceptionally well in this show, even more than the parent show, is balance all these different styles within this show. Within this one show, there's so many different feels depending on which characters you're having in particular scenes or particular modes. And even in certain scenes that are just hilarious, like the Kettleman show up and it's just fucking funny. You're in a comedy thing for a second. Breaking Bad had that a little bit, especially when Saul showed up, but in a way it was a lot more, serious. Like some of the comedy was more awkward comedy, and Jesse definitely brought it, but it was still odd couple awkwardness at times was what brought a lot of humor to Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul shifts its style focus at times and becomes a different style show. The show we watched last week, both shows are amazing. The show we watched last week and the show we watched this week are two different fucking shows. I mean, you know what I mean. They're both the same show, but it feels like the energy, the way the editing's going, the tone of it all, the way some of the dialogue's delivered, the stakes that you feel are just as strong but in a different way, in a human dynamic. This is that human dynamic character stuff mixed with that funny pranky kind of vibe that you see where Jimmy's doing a scam, and you see that full out in this episode. And then you got that Mike crossover. That's what makes it feel like an early episode too. And then you get the Mike crossover into the Saul world for a second. So I love this fucking episode, and it's got me really excited to see where the rest of the season goes. Maybe because I've watched other shows in the last week or so that have disappointed me too. But again, I feel so incredibly lucky to be a part of watching this show right now and getting to see these guys literally just play, all of them. everyone working on this show here, listening to and I highly recommend listening to the Insiders podcast from last week and listening to Michael Mondo talk about the filming of this particular episode. I could tell you a bunch of things he said, but I recommend that you shut this shit off right now and you turn that on if you haven't watched it. But it's great. And you can just get the sense of everyone, and I've said this before, everyone working on this knows that they're doing something great. They also are having exceptional amounts of fun, and it's coming through on screen. This episode felt, for me anyways, just fun. Not lighthearted. The stakes were up like crazy, but also building. The first step of what's going to be building for these next 3 episodes that we saw in this particular episode. And it worked. Okay, Insider's Cast is worth it. This episode was interesting, a lot of setup, a lot of fear put in after last week's episode 3. This was exactly what I needed after that episode. This kind of episode, to take my breath, get back involved in the Kim and Jimmy storyline. That's how I can not say Jimmy and Kimmy. I have to say Kim first. Kim and Jimmy instead of Jimmy and Kimmy. Because when I say Jimmy, I want to say Kimmy. So I got to say Kim and... Because I don't want to say Kim and Jim. That just sounds stupid. So I don't want to sound stupid. So I think it should be Kim and Jimmy. Okay. They didn't even show... Exactly, Jay. They didn't have to. They didn't show Nacho in the previous segment because that's done. This is a different show. We're in a different universe. Thank you for the super chat. Kim, though, plays evil well in that way that makes me not hate her, unlike Sky. It's because she plays it like Walter. She plays it even like a hybrid of Walter and Mike is Kim in some ways, the way she's playing the game. She's not hesitating to just engage. People are following her. I'm walking up to the fucking car, banging on the door. What? Taking your picture. Fuck with me. Like, Kim, Jesus, that's awesome. That's awesome, but don't do that to the wrong person. Don't fuck with Lalo like that when he shows up. But she's incredible. She's incredible. Mike is right. She is made of sterner stuff. Did anyone think we were getting a retro scene at the beginning? I don't know exactly what that was at the beginning. I haven't talked about that yet because it's the first thing we're going to talk about when we get into the recap. But was that the feds trying to track Lalo? Was that something in the future? Was that... I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what that was. And... we'll have to get into that. I love predictions or speculations. Put them in the live chat. Put them in the comment section after the video. Calling in 781-990-8509. Give me your theories on what that thing was going on at the beginning. I kept thinking that because the episode was called Hit and Run, we saw bikers at the beginning. Somehow it was going to tie back into it a little bit. I don't know if they were feds. I don't know if they were people connected to drug cartels or something. I don't know. I don't know what was going on with that at the beginning exactly. Someone smarter than me, dude. Wait. Oh, yeah, we got a Boston accent in this episode too. Yo, wicked pisser, Kim. I thought, let's go, Ben. Let's go. I thought we might see Nacho since I saw Michael Mondo's name during the intro. John Haymaker, am I doing anything with Ozark? I'll talk about that a little bit towards the end. I did do part 1 of the final season. I was going to come out and do part 2 of the final season. I did watch it. I have to think about how I want to cover it a couple of different ways. I don't want to talk too much about that or blow my opinion of it, other than to say I wasn't 100% pleased. But I do look forward to talking about it at some point in time. But it was not. I'll please keep spoilers out of the chat for people that haven't watched it. But to answer your question very quickly on that and stick to Saul here, I will be talking about it at some point. And yeah, I'll leave it there. I legit have zero guesses to what happens to Kim. It's gotten to that point. It's gotten to that point with Kim. And honestly, John Haymaker, it's not even that I don't want to talk about it. It's just if I start, I'm going to start bitching. And I don't want to, if we're talking about something good tonight, if this was Walking Dead night and I could talk about something else bad, I'd talk about something bad. But no, I didn't like it. Okay, so are you? No, maybe he should have called Vince. I think they should all call Vince, and that's what I mean when I was watching a different show and I got cocky about. Oh, okay, like Better Call Saul's gonna fucking kill this ending. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you guys are doing over here. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what you guys are doing over here, but Vince and company are gonna kill their ending. But let's see. Gus and Mike will kill Lalo. It's hard for me to imagine Lalo survives all of this, especially when, of course, Gus says to Hector, all of the Salamancas are dead, unless they just never find Lalo. But no, Lalo is probably 95% sure going to die before the end of Better Call Saul, and he's going to go out. It's going to be exciting. However that happens, maybe it's going to be Mike versus Lalo one-on-one with Jimmy and Kim somehow wrapped up in it, so we get some big thing, and Kim is collateral damage. If I'm examining the what maybe Kim dies philosophy, that could be the philosophy of it as well, that perhaps Kim gets involved in some sort of mix up with the situation. But let's go. Thank you, Iron Throne, for always taking care of things, spreading the word, being one of the best mods in the motherfucking business. Joseph! Holy shit. Phil, long time no chat. I finally watched on time tonight. I think I joined prompt in the live stream. Great to see you. Great to see some of our old friends from previous shows. Some of us from all the way back to some of the original days and stuff. But great to see some of the folks in the live chat checking this out, this Better Call Saul stuff. I'm getting excited. I can't wait to get into this a little bit. Next week, we follow Wendy, and it'll be titled Better Get an STD Test. Corey Mitchell wonders if Corey Mitchell killing it, as always, in top form in the live chat. Wonder if Mike's lack of respect in Breaking Bad is now because he lost Kim and because he becomes a happy ending, loving lawyer. I do think some of the things that we're seeing in this show right now lead to why Mike's the way he is in Breaking Bad, with, no half measures and has no patience for someone like Walter when he can kind of see it coming a mile away. I think him and Gus at that point have a very stern working relationship. They like to keep things normalized, and Walter rubs Mike's ass the wrong way. Anyone else think that Jimmy would forget to turn the music back on in Howard's car? Was holding my breath. That whole scene was so funny. Again, talking about giving Bob business, seeing him pull that sign out was just great physical comedy to give Bob Odenkirk. That's what I'm saying. We were watching a show last week where I was coming out here screaming my fucking ass off because I was so hyped up with a intense depiction of a character that took his own life in an amazing, exceptional, awesome, can't match it kind of television way. And I know it's going to have different, and that's the great thing about these shows. Some people are going to be more affected by the Kim and Jimmy stuff too. And then to come back with an episode this funny at times, but this interesting and also foreboding. That's the feel that you have in this episode. Just bad things are coming. And I'm not saying it's happening. I've always kind of held true, and I'm the first one to say I'll be wrong, but I've always held true that Kim's alive during Breaking Bad. But this episode made me think, no. That might be shitty prediction. So yeah. I don't know about that. This episode made me think Kim's going to die. But then, because it made me think Kim's going to die, then again, that makes me think that maybe Kim's going to live. Vince and Peter are freaking on top of it. They know more than me. Someone pointed this out in the comment section of last week's video. Great comments in last week's video. Thank you everyone that left them. I hope you guys leave them for the remainder of this final season. Love getting to engage and babble with you guys about the episode after the episode. But one thing, I try to avoid predictions with Better Call Saul or Vince's shows because I don't know. Those guys are in the room talking about this, and what's everyone drink when I mention the Insiders podcast, because I mentioned it too much. When you listen to the way they talk through things on that show and explain how they come up with it, they're talking about every fucking possibility, and they're trying to find the thing that makes the most sense and can be the most fucked up to what you couldn't imagine. And sometimes it's the most simple thing. And the simple thing is doing the obvious thing. And you could think they wouldn't do the obvious thing. And they do that and shock you with what the obvious. They said that about last week's episode. The shocking thing that we did, and this is a direct quote from either the editor or the director. I forget who was saying this. Or it might have been Peter. I don't think it was Peter. Was the crazy thing about last week's episode was we did what we told you we were going to do. We didn't cop out. I'm paraphrasing. We didn't cop out like some shows do at the last minute. You think a character's going to die? I don't know if they were talking about The Walking Dead, but I'm thinking it. I'm like, oh yeah, they're talking about The Walking Dead right now. We don't cop out and have a character look like they're about to die at the end of the episode and not do it. So we've built up so there is no choice for Nacho. So we set it up to try to be what's the most interesting way we can do that. And it worked. And they're talking about everything. We don't know they're better than us. Maybe I can live to be wrong about this one day, but they know more than me. I can't speak for you. I don't mean to include you in my ignorance, but I don't know. So I try to avoid predictions and stuff for the most part and leave some level of flexibility because I feel like this team is on top of anything I could possibly think of. So I'm just playing dartboard predictions where I can throw it on a dartboard. It's fun to go down those roads, but someone in the comment just pointed out, everything you're suggesting, interesting suggestions, but it's going to be something like we don't even expect. And that's 100% accurate. Everything we're talking about here, and this is the fun of talking about one of their shows. Everything we're talking about, one of us might be right because we're throwing shit at a wall somewhere, but it's going to be interestingly done. I've said this before. I'm never confident to say things that people come out here after the last episode and I'll eat crow. I'll eat Katie Crow. But I'm confident that no matter what happens, it's going to be an interesting conclusion to the series and something that I couldn't quite imagine. And it's going to be a fun ride, even if it's not exactly what I want or foresee might happen. That being said, this episode was I'm like, Kim's fucked. Kim's dead. This is a Kim dead episode. Okay. But yeah, that comment on the Insider's podcast, I'm like, they're talking about the fucking walking disaster. Okay. So anyone else think that Jimmy would forget clip-on ties, the ultimate hipster thing? Jack Me Off Howard had jazz. Jimmy's music was the soundtrack of a porn movie. Do you think that Wendy would enjoy some cucumber water instead of the case of root beer? I think it would be better for her, Jack Me Off. Yeah, he isn't malicious at all, Corey Mitchell. Jimmy didn't turn back on Howard's radio when he parked it. Will Howard be onto something? Are those people that we saw at the beginning of the episode, people that Howard hired because he's on to Kim and Jimmy's scheme? Is Howard going to be a little bit more capable by the end of this? I'm going to talk about Howard when we start this episode, but great subtle performance in this great subtle meaning small to the scheme of the whole episode. Patrick Fabian, is that his name? Nothing subtle about his performance, but Howard sneakily became somewhere one of my favorite characters. I've said this in previous seasons, something about the character of Howard can simultaneously be the most pompous jerkhole kind of character that you're looking at, like the typical like the boss in Office Space kind of stuff, like that jerk off kind of guy, like a character that Phil Hartman would play on Saturday Night Live as a joke back in the day. Like one of the, hey, hi everybody, hi everybody, I'm from Howard Hamlin, like one of those guys. But then he has like an odd innocence about him too. And you saw it a lot with Chuck, and you see it with this childlike perspective that Howard has as well. And the performance is strangely multi-layered for a character that has no business being a multi-layered character. And that's, again, one of the tried and true trademarks of Better Call Saul. More, again, and I like to point out, it's a different show than Breaking Bad. Both shows are amazing. But the things that define Better Call Saul, because it's its own property altogether. in some ways. It needs the parent show. They're combining together. The storylines are combining. I just mean the way that they're doing it. No characters are one dimensional. And I guess you could say that the equivalent on Breaking Bad to Howard would be Ted Beneke. And I find Howard a more multi-layered character than Ted Beneke. I think they learned from some of their lessons on Breaking Bad. Not that Ted wasn't fun when he existed, and he existed for a reason, but Howard has far more wrinkles to him. And I'm not saying they're one for one, but if I'm trying to pick a character from Breaking Bad that reminds me of Howard a little bit, and that's that one personality of his. But Howard has, and Howard's a little tougher too. Anyways, next spinoff will be Jesse hunting polar bears in Alaska. I'd watch that shit. I'm more interested in that than the next season of Westworld with Jesse. I'm kidding. I'm excited. Westworld. Okay, he did remember to turn on the car audio back in. I don't watch Better Call Saul, but I'm just here to watch. Oh, do we have analysis of Thrones in the live motherfucking chat? It's been a while, buddy. Great to see you. How are you not? How is this person not a mod? Yeah, there we go. Analysis of Thrones. Great to see you, buddy. Great to see you. Wendy seems more level-headed without the Heisenberg meth. She really does. I think they did a good job of making it seem like it was Wendy earlier in that scene. The camera on the car door was cool shot. Corey Mitchell breaking beers. Lalo has been scaring the crap out of me, and he's not even in Jack Me Off. That's what I'm talking about. He's in there this whole episode like Mike Myers hunting down a town. He's just everywhere. And I see that we have a voicemail. Caller, if you're there, hold on. I will play your voicemail in a second. I'm trying to set up the phone lines too, so in the next couple of weeks I can actually do call-ins too, so I can talk to people. I just need to get a couple of pieces of equipment. I'm a few pieces of equipment short that I gotta get to be able to do that, but I know what I need to do it. So we'll be doing that soon too, so we can actually take some calls, one-on-one. I can actually talk to you guys live, get some calls in. Corey, not just voicemails. Lalo has been scaring the crap out of me. Yeah, wherever. Absolutely. Fear the Walking Dead lawyers. Yes, Lalo's tension suspense is Hitchcockian or Hitchcock-tease. I'm going to say Hitchcockian because I'm not going to try to pronounce the amazing word that you put together right there, Joseph. But I like my malapropisms. Just say slippin' KG Jimmy. It's wicked smart. I'm wicked smart. This episode wrapped up every character in the courthouse all in one. Yes, exactly. They took us through season 1 characters just to touch in on all those characters ever since season 1. The beginning was showing us the family living next door to Gus. It was the house he walked in through the tunnel. Thank you, Ben. I didn't realize that. Very much appreciated that I didn't connect that was the house at the end. Thank you for letting me know. I was an idiot. I didn't pick up on that. That's why I love that I do this live, so someone can tell me, and I don't sound like an idiot for the whole show. Thank you, Ben. No, don't worry about Jeffrey Townsend. I'm not going to say anything. I'm pretty sure it was implying that he bought the house next door and uses it for security purposes. He's been paying those people to live there for years. That's something that Don Corleone did in The Godfathers. He bought, it doesn't show as much in the movies, but it's something that you get into in the books, that he bought all the houses in the neighborhood of where he lives. So there's a buffer protection area for where he goes. I love it. Lalo was buried in concrete in the south wall. The couple are part of Gus's cover for the house. Security people, thank you so much. I feel lucky to have you guys in the chat to clue me in on stuff I miss. I think the couple lives there as a cover, so nobody in the neighborhood suspects anything. Gus probably moved them in years ago. 8N4DOU was the vanity plates on the BMW who moved the cone. Thoughts? I don't know if that's going to come back. I did think about that in the episode Jack Me Off. We'll get into that a little bit later. Plot twist, Lalo ends up buried in the red house. The bikers really hated that fucking house. The tunnel between the two houses doesn't look new. This must have been built in the years and probably owned by both houses. Amazing how they have us all guessing about the plot. So hard to predict. Now, don't overhype the underwear. I can't believe we got to see a younger Splooge from Breaking Bad. Me too. I thought that was awesome that we got to see that. So another weird Breaking Bad crossover that I didn't know I wanted, but I got, Joshua Z. And thank you for popping in the live chat, Joshua Z. New name, toast to you. Welcome to the chat. If you haven't, hit that subscribe button. Share the channel with a friend. Anyone else watching Breaking Bad lately? I'm still not sold on Jimmy Saul being the same character. Better Call Saul. It's really a contrast. I think Jay, as the best aspect of this show, is that we're getting into more depth. The Breaking Bad Saul, we only saw him a few times, different times a day. So it's hard to see anything but the two-dimensional character we saw in Breaking Bad. So oh gosh, what am I doing here? Why this go off? No. Why this thing? I have the audio from the episode over there. It disappeared. I talked so long. I talked through the whole episode playing behind me. So let's keep going through the chat a little bit. I want to get everyone chatting because I love hearing you guys talk about this episode. And even more than the recap, I like hearing your breakdowns and letting me know what you guys think. Lalo Hitchcock, there's no terror in the bang. The house with the red door and the lemon on it. I remember that house with the lemon on it. The Howard disguised by Saul had me in tears. Oh my God, that was funny, says Gregor Smith. Take the calls in the Larry King voice. Okay. Here we go, caller. Here we go. We got a call from area code 914. 914. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, JP from New York. Calling to say that the beginning montage with the runners going into the house where they're filming everything comes back later on in the episode with Gus going through his house into the tunnel into that exact same house because he passes the people in the tunnel. Coming up into the other house, like across the street or down the way, where they're surveilling his house, which is like a Breaking Bad callback from when Walter went to go and kill Gus. And Mike calls him up and says, "Go home, Walter. Go home." You know, kind of like Mike was a grandpa, Carl was
Give it up, Walter.
Anyway, thanks.
Great call. Thank you so much, people in the chat and caller. Thank you so much for letting me know what that was at the beginning. And I definitely remember that stuff from Breaking Bad. And again, this show just ties the bows so nightly. It ties the bows nightly and nicely as well. Nightly, it's nicely. And thank you so much for that call. And thank you everyone in the live motherfucking chat. Very much appreciate all of you guys. I think that was my fault with the caller sound because I had the effect on. So I apologize for that. I think I put that on. I put that on me. I think I accidentally had the effects switch turned on the caller's voice. If anyone else wants to call in, I promise to turn off the sound and keep you guys going. So it's about time. I've talked a lot here. We've had a whole foreplay. I pretty much talked everything about this episode, but there's only one way to go from here, and that is, of course, it's time for the recap. It's time to get into the recap of this episode, break it down, see what happened. Let me put the music back up again. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh no, it's turning into a strip show. Don't worry. No one wants to see that. When Better Call Saul started, the one thing I hoped for was that we would finally get Spooge's backstory. Thank God we got it. Ben, that's what I've been wanting forever. I've been asking for that. They know we've been asking for it, and they gave it to us. And yes, I do feel bad for my neighbors below me, but they are family, so they have to deal with it sometimes. The rest of the streams, no, I wouldn't make any money that way. Definitely not any more super chats. But I did get what I was asking for there because I threw my headphones down and my headphones slammed off my knee. I'm clumsy. I'm a clumsy motherfucker. Let's not get it past this. We got Jay SM down in the live chat too. Great to see Jay. Great to see everyone. Peter Griffin. Thank you, Peter Griffin, for popping on in here. Where we go? Where's this music? Stop music. So our episode opens up. When we go, we got our episode here. We open up in this whole intro part right here. We've got volume here. Do we have volume on this episode? Miles? I don't want to play too much of the songs, music. I'll play more of the music in the actual episode itself, but that was the opening song that really set the tone. And as people pointed out in this opening scene, let's go through it. And the opening scene, we're back to season 1, playing homage. Two folks biking through a neighborhood, green and blue. I don't know if they're just playing with colors here. There's no actual meaning behind it all. It was just interesting colors, to play with. In unison, I kept expecting them to get hit. I don't know, again, that's just silly wordplay with titling the episode Hit and Run and then having it start off with these two bikers rolling through in a scene that oddly, in a weird way, seemed like they were about to be hit. They see the house. It's an ugly color, tomato red. Oh, gross. Poor neighbors, ugly. Then they flash to a cam view as someone's watching them, and they put the bikes in, and they talk more about the color. Then we're in the kitchen with some fun stretching, and then two dudes with guns are at the table that they share some coffee with, and then we get the computer guy watching the neighborhood. Feds, who are these people? Gus's people, or I said in the moment because I didn't realize till the end, or till you guys said in the chat that they're actually Gus's people here. My initial thought was, are they people looking for Lalo, which wouldn't be the most insane thought in the sense that they're Gus's people. So I guess they are looking for Lalo. So I'm right. I'll take it. No. We need a color theory analysis. Okay. This just in.
Hello, this is Phil's other post here. Bob Odenkirk? No, my name's not Bob Odenkirk. And I am the color analyst of Better Call Saul. In that scene, we see... No, I'm going to stop that voice. It's horrible. But yeah, no, it's like every scene you want to watch, it all has a meaning. There's one where we see a sprinkler. The sprinkler starts and then starts slow and then goes fast. I'm watching it, and I know it doesn't really mean much, but I'm watching it and I'm thinking, what's the sprinkler mean? They've created a show where I'm reasonably looking at the speed of a sprinkler to try to define in my brain what the show creators could possibly be trying to make it mean. You fuckers, Vince. Vince and Peter, you guys are fuckers. You making me care about a fucking... Oh shit, no. I'm fucking it up here, kids. I'm fucking it up. But yeah, you're making me care about shit you shouldn't make me care about. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm a mess over here with my new setup over here trying to make this episode fucking play. Let me put this on my thing. Okay, ghost calls. You kind of sounded like the Joker, Heath Ledger. Why so serious, son? And let me go back over here. Okay, there you go. 6-4. Do it. Back. Resume. So then we go off to Patrick Fabian Howard with the view of the Jag, looking for some fun angles as he walks in. The cuts are fast. Is he going to a therapy session? And that's what's going on. Let's listen to a little bit of Howard's therapy.
Cheryl still won't talk about anything important.
You tried what we discussed?
Yes. Yes, I did. But
So this is Howard in therapy.
I did have a dream.
I feel bad. I want to hear about Howard's dream. So then we flash over to Jimmy doing some Jimminess. with his little contraption, his key contraption, as he's sneaking over. We get some fun Jimmy music. The smile as he's dressed like Howard. And it's funny, like you see him walking towards the screen, and he's all dressed like Howard. And then we continue the dream. And then you cut with Jimmy doing his stuff while you hear Howard talking about his dream. And then the music, the jazz music, as he goes into the car and gets it. He's talking about a deadlocked marriage. Poor Howard. I do feel bad for him. He's a fun character. He's hateable, but he's innocent at the same time. We hear about Howard's dream. Howard, tell me about your dream. Oh no, it's Jimmy moves the cone. And it's Jimmy's still burned as well from the desert. I like it. We hear Howard describes the dream. Saul breaks into the car, carries off the cone, blocks it off, and turns off the big jazz band stuff. And the scammy music plays as he pulls out, and he takes off the car. Off to the amazing ponytail of Kim Wexler bouncing in your face. Adjusting her seat as we get under the table as she prepares for lunch. Every scene with her is awesome, and the way she's filming this, because it's her filming herself here, is just really well done. Under the table shot with her storing something, recording some audio of Cliff Main as she's meeting Ed Bagley Jr., Cliff Main in the scene. I thought Ed Bagley was much better in this episode than he was in his first appearance this season. He seemed more comfortable. His vocal cadence was off a little bit in the first episode. It happens. Sometimes my vocal cadence is off on this show because I have something wrong with my mouth. He sounded like he had a little hama in a couple of episodes ago, but in this episode, he's had a great performance by him in this episode. And then we have their lunch.
Stomping ground with Schweiker.
Oh, tell Rich I said hi.
Let's listen to a little bit of this.
How's Jimmy?
He's great. Thanks for asking. How about Alice?
She's doing well. She's taken up baking, and no complaints here.
Well, lucky you.
Don't I know it? I hear this place makes a killer latte.
Yeah, they give Java Joe's a run for their money, if you ask me.
Mocha Joe's? Mocha Joe! Mocha Joe! And yet, I forget what he says it is, but we do hear her name in that scene. As Jimmy heads out and goes to pick up crackhead Wendy in this scene right here. No one rocks a ponytail like Kim. Absolutely. Have you seen anyone in real life do it ironically? Now I really want to think about it. I think they played like that. It was going to Howard's dream sequence, but it was Jimmy. It was really cool though. It was a really interesting transition where they did the dream sequence and then you flash over to Jimmy walking. For a moment, I thought that they were showing us Howard's dream. So it was, again, it was almost comedic editing in that moment, and I loved that they did that. And this is what I'm saying about the show, shifting styles. If you think about the show we were watching last week, which, again, both equally amazing in different ways, the show we were watching tonight is far more dark comedy mixed with character study stuff, instead of, seat your pants action that was going on in the last couple of episodes. But also through the whole scene of everything, you're also feeling the fear of Lalo laying loom over this whole situation. And specifically, we know that Jimmy makes it through here. We know that the Mike and Gus make it through too, and all Gus's henchmen, but we know that two people might not, and that's Lalo and Kim, and it's creating all this fucking drama right now, and I'm losing it. I'm losing my shit worrying here as we have Jimmy and Hooker Wendy here.
Everything okay?
Sure.
Do we need to go over it again?
Nah.
Well, just remember, keep your feet out of the way, because I'm going to have to leave in a hurry.
Thank you, John Haymaker and Jeffrey Townsend, for being the two people that got my Mocha Joe reference.
Thank you. Thanks.
Mocha, come on, Mocha Joe! Mocha Joe! Mocha Joe!
What if there was a different way? What if there was an independent team of lawyers, maybe 4 or 5 of them, who were dedicated to taking on the difficult cases? I'm not saying a few lawyers can solve a massive systemic problem, but they can make it better.
And why come to me with this?
Okay, so what's interesting about this whole
Well, if I
scene,
wanted to shine you on,
where it ends up being
I
is
tell you it's because you're known for your social conscience.
she throws up some bullshit here, because the whole scam here is we'll set up the scam is he sets up to throw Wendy, the prostitute, out the car to make it so Cliff Main sees it and thinks it's Hamlin's car. So they stole the car to do that sort of thing. And Kim's distracting him and setting him in the right place at the right time to see the car and make it seem like he's in, a drugged out stupor and throwing it up. Interesting kind of petty plan that I love that Jimmy and Kim are doing. But Kim also suggests this really sort of helpful thing to help people out. And that's the thing that Kim is doing. She's thinking it evens out somewhere. I can do these horrible things and these funny things, but if I just do these good things too, everything will be all right. So I wonder if I'm going to be flagged for this like small thing in the corner right there. I don't think so. Better Call Saul is probably the better show over Breaking Bad solely on the fact that they made a masterclass series having to tell you where you already know where a bunch of characters end up. Damn, it's near impossible shit to pull off. It really is. Stop, don't call me that. Come on. I'm an what? How dare she say that to me?
I mean,
everyone does that to you. I love how Kim plays this too. She plays it so innocent as Saul drives off. Oh wait, feeling good about himself on the way out of there. Big band Saul. People are like, don't talk. Just do this. Okay, you're telling me you got the episode and you're talking? No one wants to see that.
Oh,
Motherfucker.
Cone? What kind of asshole moves a cone?
Yeah, and I agree, Saul. What kind of asshole moves a cone? That's a good fucking question. Okay, so, and Jay, it's hard to argue with that. They just throw masterclass character shit in this particular show. We've got 2 voicemails. I'm going to play them right now. Of course, if you want to get your voice in the show, question, comment, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can call 781-990-8509. 781-990-8509. You can also text that number as well. If for whatever reason I miss your chat in the live motherfucking chat, and you want to make sure you get your comment in and you don't want to record or something like that, your voice, you can leave me a text as well at that phone number. And you can do that even when the show is not live, and I'll just play it on the following program. Just if we're not live, make sure you say this is for Better Call Saul, because we use that number for a bunch of different shows right now. So here we go. Area code 403. Let's see if I fixed the effect on the caller's voice. Let's see if we did this.
Yeah, hey, it's Mike Shout.
Shit.
I've been following you and Joe Dirty Locks, but I don't want to tell him this because I think you are made of sterner stuff.
Thank you, Mike.
I hate to tell you.
That's why Joe isn't here.
But
so
I can't tell you.
Thank you, Mike. You're such a good guy, Mike. So Mike called in and said he had something to tell me here. He doesn't need to tell Joe because I'm made of sterner stuff. You know what? Because I'm here. Joe's has a real job and is doing helping people out in real life, and he's doing amazing stuff right now. And good for Joe for helping people, and he's awesome. He's really awesome the way he helps people. But fuck Joe. Joe doesn't have the sterner stuff as me. I really think Joe's awesome. Fuck that guy. But thank you so much for the voicemail. Breaking Bad is better. The drug aspect is more interesting than the lawyering. Emerald says, still have Better Call Saul though. And that's what the fun thing about this debate is. I think most people, I'd say, and I always say whenever I make up a statistic, I always say 90%. 90% of people that watch both shows, regardless of which one's your favorite, will say it's a matter of taste. As I said, we're watching gourmet chefs deliver their 2 signature meals. Both are equally as delicious, but one's going to be more your taste than the other one. You know, and it's as simple as that. Both shows are amazing. Neither one is better. Both are unbelievably amazing. Better Call Saul is a little tighter in the production because season 1 of Breaking Bad, they were still figuring things out. Or didn't have the budgetary extremes that they had from seasons 2 moving forward in Breaking Bad and then on Better Call Saul. So the show looks different, you know, where Better Call Saul has this crazy high production value to it in some ways. Some of the camera angle stuff, but that narrative of Breaking Bad. So I think it's a fun debate to have between Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fans. But the truth of the matter is we all win. We win. This show could have been a flash in the pants, but instead, all of us fans of this Vince Gilligan, Peter Gould thing that was created, this Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul thing, benefit because we have 2 fucking amazing shows now. Two. The only other thing that, the only other things that get this are sitcoms, really. You know, yeah, there are, and we've talked about before, you know, Happy Days spun off a million, All in the Family spun off amazing shows. But this show does, and even Frasier is the best example, one for one. A show that was equal value of comic acceptance and Emmys and winning and all that sort of shit as the parent show. And some people, diehard, will go to death saying about a side character that became the main character, will go to death saying Frasier's a better show than Cheers. Some people will, Cheers is a better show than Frasier. But people that like both shows get the benefit of loving both shows and having both shows exist in the world. And I think we're fucking lucky as hell to live in a place where we got Breaking Bad that could have just existed onto its own. And somehow a fucking side series about a comedic one-off character initially, or probably a side character that he never meant to give depth to, has delivered a series that could be arguably one of the best television series of all time. It is one of the best beginning to end produced, the way the series went up on this level. Every season got better with higher stakes. And I'm confident the way they stick this landing in a way, because very few people have stuck landings in dramas. One of those people, even if you have some minor nitpick issues with the ending of Breaking Bad, with Jack's guys coming in at the last minute and being our last minute enemy or whatever. There's a few nitpicks you can take with the ending. It still was a satisfying ending. They did it. They did what other people can't do. They gave us a satisfying ending to a show that had so much fucking hype build up to it while it was on the air and actually delivered on the fucking hype. Who does that? Seriously. Who does that? And I'm going to put my goddamn money on the fact that they're going to do it again. And then have 2 of the most complete, amazing television series of all time. Vince is attached to this series. Better Call Saul is as much Peter's as it is Vince. So Better Call Saul is worth, in the end of Breaking Bad became, Vince and Peter as well together, working together. But both of them, I'm going to say Vince's team, but know that I mean everybody. Vince's team will be responsible for 2 of Come At Me, 2 of the greatest television series of all time, and actually stuck the landing on both of them. It's over. It's over. They're the best of all time. Give the man his money. Give the man his money. Give him his Vince, give the dude. And it's all of them. It's not just Vince. It's Vince and Peter. It's the editing team. It's the writing team. It's the writer's room. It's the vibe that they all just have a good time and they all want to do good for Vince. It's Vince cut down bullshit, no bullshit sort of attitude. Meat and potatoes kind of vibe about him. It's a bunch of people wanting to make good fucking art and not have their heads up their own ass. It's rare. And we're fucking watching it. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to fangasm here, but I cannot believe that we're this lucky, that this show ended up this good. It could have been okay. It ended up spectacular. Frasier was such a different character in Cheers. He was almost to the point when they brought him back, they had to kind of refocus it. Lied about his family. They had to be like, oh, you lied about your dad. You lied about your brother. They went in fun directions. Okay. So off to the amazing ponytail of Kim Wexler as adjusting her seat as we get the under the table shot. As Jimmy prepares Wendy, we've already talked about that, off the cliff, and Kim presenting. And then Jimmy is driving with the music. He can't stop smiling. So he pulls into the tow lane, and we get this funny exchange with him trying to pull the sign up to change the positions because he parks in the tow lane and has to change where the sign is to make Howard just think in his head, oh, I just went to the first spot. And I would call bullshit on this if Howard wasn't so self-absorbed that his mind wouldn't just autocorrect to, oh, I'm in the first spot where the sign is. And the sign that fell right before the commercial break had amazing comedic timing. Like whoever trained that sign in the Meisner technique and really kind of focused its inner core of character understanding, and the sign fell. It meant the fall of Jimmy's innocence. No, I'm kidding. I was kidding. But that's the thing about this goddamn show, right? Right? Someone in the world thought I was being serious for a second. And they were like, oh, wait, did the sign have significance? No, it's a fucking gag, and it worked really fucking well. Oh, my goodness. I love Breaking Bad season 5 because Walt just basically became the villain, and then somehow they made me care about him again at the end. Oh, we got a text and another voicemail. Keep the calls coming in, everyone. Thank you so much for keeping this going. Keep liking this video, bumping up. We almost got to 100 likes on last week's video. Let's see how close we can get to there this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for all the support over this last week to help bump up this video for me, and keep it coming for this whole season. Let's keep building this hype, building this energy, getting as many people as we can get in these after shows to talk about this show. I'm going to have a fun guest coming up soon, figure that out, and hopefully Joe will be able to join us. At least is next week the holiday or the week after? The week of the holiday, Joe will definitely be able to join us because I know he has the Monday off. I know it's a tough turnaround for him to get here after shows, but we will have some guests joining us at some point this season. Hey, we got Jackie C, the wonderful, amazing Jackie C in the live motherfucking chat. Never apologize for fangasming over actually good shows. It really is, especially where I dealt with some, not so good shows in the 48 hours or so. Let's before we get back into our recap here, let's listen to our second voicemail. This is from area code 33331. So when I was a kid, one of my friends had a answer machine message where they I feel bad making fun of the kid, but his voice was just, hello. You have reached XXX 3331 2. Just the way he said it in the message. It's like sticks in my head. Like I hear that voice forever in the back of my hair. Did I say the back of my hair? Back of my head. I'm drunk. Okay, so area code 331. From Chicago. Let's get Chicago in this motherfucker.
Hey, Phil, Pete in Chicago.
Pete!
Love this show. You are awesome, man. So entertaining.
Thank you,
Hey, you mentioned a couple of times you thought that Jimmy still had the tan from the desert, but actually I think that's bronzer. I think he went just real heavy with the bronzer to look like Howard, to have like Howard's tan. And when Wendy's staring at him, I think she's seeing like the bronzer is not quite covering his ears and his neck if you look.
Great.
Yeah, there's a lot of that we've been seeing around lately from other well-known figures, but we'll get into that. But anyway, I think it's bronzer that's on Jimmy and not just the tan. All right, keep it up, buddy. Great show. Enjoying it. Later.
Thank you so much for the call. And yeah, I think you're right too. I think they're showing a little bit of that, less so in this episode, but the first two episodes we saw a little bit of Jimmy still being sunburned a little bit. But yes, that was absolutely bronzer, and I think I called it out. As the sunburn at first. But you're 100% right. I didn't get it quite at first, because like I said, I thought at first it was Howard in a dream, and then I saw it was Jimmy, and my mind went to, oh, he's still sunburned. But you're 100% correct on that one. Thank you so much for the call. Hope you call in again and leave us another voicemail. I know, Bobby G. I am. It's my drunk day. Phil's friend's phone machine sounds like the talking toilet. Fill me up, Chandler. I was definitely a bronzer. I really dislike your name. Phil's friend's phone machine sounds like the talking toilet. Fill me up, Chandler. We gotta fucking. I love random references to random television shows from especially sitcoms. Okay, we got a voicemail. Hey, hate to text this. But Phil, you're horrible. You're the worst thing. Oh no, sorry, no, it's Pete from Chicago. Pete, feel free to leave as many voicemails as you want, buddy. But hate to text this, but I really think that Lalo is going after Nacho's dad. He gets indirect revenge on Nacho that way, and would also mean that Lalo makes Mike fail at protecting Papa Nacho. Oh, it's such a power move. Imagine if we get the news that Nacho's dad was killed violently. Mike and Gus will know that Lalo did it. What do you think? I think that would be horrifying, and I think Vince and Peter are just the kind of sick fucks that would want to fuck with me like that and do something like that. So I don't know if Lalo's going to do that necessarily, but if he did, that would be horrifying. That would be horrifying. I want to believe that Nacho went out his own way and gets a happy conclusion to his story by allowing his father to be safe and Mike to protect that father forever. I mean, deliver him an envelopes of money every week for the rest of his life. But you could be right about something horrifying like that happening. Pete, I don't like that you wrote that either. You're getting that in my head, and I'm feeling oddly uncomfortable. You bastard. Great call, Pete. Or Phil, what am I drinking tonight? I am drinking Tito's. I'm drinking Tito's homemade vodka. That's what I'm drinking tonight. I think Lalo murders Kim. Tonight certainly led to, as I've said all night, I don't know what I believe yet. We're gonna do some predictions with the Kiwi, with with Chase, with the Vivid Kiwi before next season when we get into it, and I don't know. If I was just watching this episode and feeling the energy that was going on, I'd say Kim's dead. Excuse me, dead. Lalo's killing somebody. Either Pete in Chicago's right and Lalo's killing Nacho's dad and then Mike's killing him, or Kim's a dead duck. Lalo is killing somebody we care about before the end of this. I could be wrong, but that dude's not to sleep on, and some shit's coming. He's planning something. And we haven't seen him in a few episodes, and he's looming. I feel him. You feel him. The show's intentionally making us feel him and wait for this motherfucker. We may not see him till the tease into the last couple of episodes when Jimmy and Kim think they solved their Howard thing and they're happy about it, and Lalo's sitting in the backseat of a car like, hey guys, I have a plan for you guys. You're going to help me. And when we see him, it's not going to be relaxing. Lalo's coming and I need to drink. Hector wants Nacho's dad dead. Anyways, storyline will play an important role. Lalo will not kill Kim. He sees a use for her. Perhaps. Someone did suggest the possibility in the live chat or in the comment section of last week's video that we're wondering all these scenarios for Kim. Is Kim going to be impressed with the cartel's organizations? Not necessarily the Salamancas, but Gus and Mike's whole organization. Is that going to impress Kim? And I also want to wonder how Kim reacts long-term to this. Is she scared right now and worried because she didn't tell Jimmy? Or is she internalizing this and trying to plan her next step? I also want to mention we had a couple of great voicemails and text. If anyone else wants to get their calls in, we're open all night here in the voicemail and the text line, 781-990-8509. I want to say something, but I don't want to say it because it's stupid. The first 2 episodes of our Better Call Saul podcast here this season, there's a special thing to it. Without trying, without looking at the time, I made both episodes were 2 hours and 23 minutes. Like, now I know about it, so whatever I do this week doesn't matter. But without thinking about it, both last week and the week before, I talked for exactly 2 hours and 23 minutes about Better Call Saul. So by that definition, we have an hour left here. But if I do it this week, it's just because I know. Like, I know it too much now to think about it, but it's very funny, 2 weeks in a row. But so we got at least an hour left for you guys getting calls if you want to get any more calls and questions and comments about how you think this is all going to play out. Or any direction you want us to go. But holy shit, speaking of amazing callers, we have the legendary, the amazing, the Walking David. So if you haven't already and you're on the TikTok, make sure you follow the Walking David over there. Doing some amazing stuff. He recently went to a convention and he was doing the voice with a Rick Grimes lookalike who was mouthing all what he was doing. It's really fucking amazing stuff. And David's incredible and leaves us some voicemails with some voices and shit. And maybe we'll get David on to talk about Saul at some point before this is all over with. I know he's a huge fan of the series. But great to see the Walking David in the live chat. Lots of love to David. Always amazing, always awesome, always hilarious. Make sure you check out Walking David. Okay, so have my audio all the way down to avoid spoilers, but I just wanted to come in and say, hey, everybody, and I hope you're having a badass stream. Much love, buddy. So he didn't even hear me say all this, so I take it all back. Fuck David. No, I'm kidding. Make sure you check out David. He's awesome. So anyways, great location, visual shooting this episode. Totally different feel from the first 3 episodes. I said this a few times tonight. This episode had a completely different feel from the first few episodes, and I love that this show's able to do that. I love that this show's able to simultaneously at the same time show us completely different programs while we're watching this. David would love that. Great to see you, buddy. Thank you so much for your comments. Oh, okay, so David is listening, you fucker. So yes, make sure you follow. Let me get back to kissing David's ass. Make sure you follow the Walking David. Ho ho ho. Okay, boss. Love the Walking David, and love you guys. Crap. As he sees, I talked about this before, but I gotta show you guys the visual for those of you that didn't get to see this. Sorry, David. Just a little bit of visual comedy from Bob Odenkirk trying to move a sign. It's out of context if you haven't seen the episode. Hopefully this won't get flagged. Let me know if the video disappears for a second, everybody. I'm not getting any warnings. Mandrell in the live chat. We got to get Mandrell on one of these discussions at some point. I've been saying for like 3 years I want to get Mandrell on the show, but Mandrell is amazing, hilarious, and awesome to have on streams. Got to get Mandrell's on here at some point to talk something as Jimmy tries to move this sign. It's just kind of a hilarious moment of Jimmy moving stuff. Hey, we got Muhammad in the live chat. Thank you, everyone that's coming over here and checking me out. Hey, no, checking this stream out. I very much appreciate it. You guys in the live chat are amazing. Oh my goodness. Why are we going to the full screen view? Why am I doing this all night? Because I'm liking my hair day? No. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, so let's continue. But great to see everyone in the live chat. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mandrell. Everyone, if you're in the live chat and you haven't already, please hit that like button. Really helps a great deal. More than you know to help get this out to more people. And thank you, Iron Throne, for being the best, one of the best moderators in the fucking business. Sharing David's links in the live chat. Those of you that want to check that out. So we're at the Crossroads Motel as Jimmy rolls out in front of the meet. Okay, we're off the Crossroads Motel and Kim pays Wendy and they have an interesting conversation.
Be careful, okay?
Okay.
What?
5-0. That kills business for the rest of the day. Always hassling me.
Undercover cops?
Yep.
It's Mike.
Listen, if you
thank you.
ever have any legal problems, give me a call.
Oh, you guys are
Anytime,
awesome.
no
keep
charge.
keep those compliments coming. I appreciate it. No, okay. Your checks are in the mail. Your checks are in the mail. As Kim tells Wendy, she will help her in any situation. And Phil needs to start a hair products influence in TikTok. I do have a drum. It's that drum guy Phil, where I play some conga drums. So you can follow me there if you want. So Phil, your show is amazing. Balls. Emphasis on balls. Balls. Your show is balls. No, I appreciate that, dude. You're amazing. And it's so great to have you back in the live chat. That's what I'm loving so much about doing these Better Call Saul recaps. It's good to see so many of our old friends in the live chat for these because finally we're talking about a good show again. And I hope to see you guys a lot over the course of the year. It's very, very awesome to see some of our friends back in the chat and rolling with us again. Very awesome and very awesome of the Vivid Kiwi for sharing it and getting some new faces in here as well. I mentioned this many times. The only way people are going to find this channel and what I do is through the help of other people sharing the way. The only way we're here right now is through the help of awesome people like Tony and Carmine, the Vivid Kiwi, history buffs, the people that have been very helpful to us along the way, spreading the word, and Devin as well. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all the support that you've gotten. Spreading the word. What do we do when the season's over? What about the future of Saul? Let's listen to Kim and Saul here for a second.
They bought it, huh?
100%. You should have seen his face.
Before we go through the audio.
Trust me.
I'll answer your question in a second.
God, it was beautiful. Oh, and that is not all.
Spill?
So, I'm doing the stall. I'm telling Cliff what I'm doing, what I want to be doing. All I'm thinking about is I got to stretch this out until you get there. But then, I don't know, I kind of got
Thank you, Jack
caught
me
up
off.
in it. And then Cliff went for it. I mean, like, really went for it.
What does that mean? Like money?
I don't think he'll write a check himself, but he knows.
So this is Kim
And I think he'll deliver.
thinking she can have the best of both worlds. Now,
I know.
Now,
How great is that?
I don't know. And I love how Kim was laying down in that scene, showing her vulnerability and her comfort in the world she's in right now. This is all scaring the living shit out of me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so scared. Kim getting what she wants to a certain extent in some deals, and I know it wasn't a perfect day for Kim because what eventually happens with Mike and the crossover, and we're going to listen to that and get into that in a second. But all this shit from Kim's perspective with her thinking she's going to get what she wants, loving this life, being high off this. You can see her when she's taunting her brain, when she's tapping, like when her ponytail's tapping. She's like an addict that can't wait to get to more of this. Oh my fucking God. And I feel so much fear for Kim. I don't know how you guys are feeling. Am I creating this myself, or are you guys watching this show too? And I know we got some people that are watching that are just here for the silliness and the good times here in the live chat, and I appreciate that, and you guys are just as fucking awesome and important. But I'm asking people that actually watch this show tonight, am I making up this fear for Kim's life? Is that in my imagination, or do you guys feel it too? Because I feel like everything that happened in this episode makes me think that Kim's in trouble some way or another. And I don't know about you guys.
Because we got away with it. It seems too good to be true. But trust me, nobody is following you. No one knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
Except for us.
No one knows what we're doing except for us. Sure, Saul. That makes me know that everyone knows what you're fucking doing, you idiot. Okay. It's nice to see a fun new character combos like Kim and Wendy, Kim and Mike. Great stuff. Once Better Call Saul ends, I know I will never love again. There's some part of that's true that I feel like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad are ruining me for other shows. I hold other shows to the standard that they set in this show. They are the greatest show creators of all time. For dramatic, like action dramatic, whatever shit. No one is better but Vince and Peter. They're the best of all time. Crown them. Give the men their money. Give them the crown. And I can't wait to see what they do next. I can't wait to see what Vince does next.
Seriously? Since when?
It's procedure, sir.
Sir?
Okay, so before we get into all of this, excuse me, let me push pause. We get into Jimmy's bad day when Jimmy gets like treated like George Costanza or Larry David when he's wearing a red hat on Curb Your Enthusiasm. And he's liking it. He's like, why is everyone treating me like shit? I like it. Let's take our, we got a text. And if I miss your chat somehow in the live chat, you can always text on in at 781-990-8509 to make sure I get it. Question. Here we go. This is, we got two. Question. When Kim confronts the two guys in the car, do you think that camera held on their faces a bit long? It almost felt like it was supposed to recognize the bald guy or perhaps note his face later. This could be some special Seahorn directing right there. I don't know if it was because I saw on the Reddit, I don't watch Barry, but I guess one of the actors in that scene was one of the actors from Barry that played a character. I noted it in my notes in a second. I don't know, Barry fans, if you recognized one of those actors, but I saw some people in the subreddit saying that. So I don't know if they're focusing on them because you're supposed to recognize one of them from a different show and there was some tongue-in-cheekness, or there's some significance to them at all to show their fear dealing with someone like Kim who's being so direct. So they were focusing on them to show how they react. Like, holy shit, did that just happen? She made us. It called us out on it. What the fuck? To kind of like lay on how Kim is running them and how she's basically a boss. I mean, that's what I got out of this episode. Kim's a fucking boss. Kim is going to get out of it. People in the live chat, let's say, after Nacho died, anything could happen. Emerald says, I agree with you, Phil. Mary says, Kim. Emerald says, Kim is dead 100%. Jeffrey Townsend says, you're right, Phil. Kim may end up going down as the greatest TV villain ever. Mary says, Kim is going to get out of it no matter what. She's my number one, period, says Mary. Mary's like, Phil, I'm digging your show right now. I'll listen to your shit, but shut the fuck up about Kim right the fuck now, you piece of shit. I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking kill you if you let anything happen to this beautiful person on screen right now. This amazing, multifaceted character, one of the best written characters in television history. And I could say that about 2 or 3 of the characters on Better Call Saul. But Kim is probably one of my favorite written characters in the history of television. And I know I'm hyperbolic, but that's not hyperbolic. I've been saying that for years, and it's absolutely true. She is a extremely well-written character, and you can see how lucky Ree feels for playing this character, and Bob, too, playing Saul. The way that they're exploring these characters, wow. And Michael McKean, someone who worked forever in the industry, and on one of the other great spinoffs, Laverne and Shirley, from Happy Days, really shines in this show too. And Michael Mondo saying that, this is his career, everything else is that he's going to figure out. This was one of his career highlights. He never got to be the star in a couple of episodes. It's really fucking awesome. Okay. What if one of those guys were the guys in the future Saul? Kim's a woman determined. Yes, she's the boss. Remember when they recognized him when he was sitting on the bench? Kim is going to live in Mexico. It's very, very possible. I want Kim to survive. I think so many people want Kim to survive through this. And we'll see about what happens to her.
Why did I hit the jackpot?
Never can tell.
So this is Kim is driving. She noticed someone's following her, but she pulls down another street. Back to Jimmy and Kimmy celebrating their victory. We already listened to that. You wicked hot dude. Off to Saul, heading to court, and he's getting the turnaround from all these people. Listen to a little bit of this.
Carlos's birthday? Because I put a few extra white chocolate macadamias in there just for you.
What do you need?
Me? Nothing.
but I have a friend.
And I just want to point out that we're seeing scenes that he did in season 1 where he was playing all these people. He was getting what he wanted out of all these situations, and we're going back to these same situations and seeing how all these people treat him now post having to work with the Salamancas.
Who could use a preliminary hearing rescheduled. Gonzalez v. New Mexico. And my friend is looking for Friday around 9 a.m. Before the judge's 4th cup of coffee, because caffeine jitters, they're brutal on the defense, so.
What friend?
I don't believe you two have met.
Hey, we should applaud the prostitute. A little over the hill. Nice working woman, says Mary. And I agree, Mary. That's a tough job for anybody.
Change request form.
Let alone an older prostitute. She pulled that shit off.
Hey, come on, it's me.
That takes skills, Mary.
Look, Mommy, I just graduated. I can't use a pen. I have no opposable thumbs. Hey, Hannah Banana.
Pay yourself.
So it's really awesome. Again, the way that, and then we get this parallel scene. I haven't watched season 1 in a long time. I feel like the scene where we get to the food machine right here, the vending machine, the food machine, the vending machine is
be gentle. That's the way to do it.
Is like almost the exact scene we got in a season 1 moment. She starts a coffee shop called Frappuccinos, Kim's, and sells scones. I would eat them all. And thank you, Jackie C, who said she's here for my hair. I appreciate it.
What the hell is
going on?
How come everyone's treating me like I'm covered in oozing pus sores?
So let's listen
I
to
like
this.
you better when you're just a regular bottom feeder. But this.
This? What is this?
I understand advocating for your client. Deep in my heart, I get it. But you scammed the court. You scammed the judge. And for what? To get a murdering cartel psychopath back out on the street?
Oh, shut
It's
up.
just
You pretentious douche. No, I'm kidding.
wrong.
It is. It is. But
It's a lot of big talk, Bill. Prove it.
I love how little...
Prove it, Bill!
Now, this is Jimmy's talent. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He takes this, and again, he treats this almost, and you see through the rest of the scene, he cares a little bit. And this is where Jimmy's a good person, but he also has this blocker where certain people could reach him, certain people can make him give a shit and make him like hurt his feelings. Chuck, Kim. But Jimmy himself, are where people are trying to call him out on some of his scammery or whatever. He knows he had no choice. He had to work with Lalo in that situation. He was stuck in it. And I see that we have another voicemail and another text. Thank you guys for keeping the voicemails going tonight and keeping the texts going. I appreciate the voices in the text. Get your voices in the chat, from the chat into the show. I try to get as many of your comments that you throw in the chat as possible, but it's always awesome when you guys leave voicemails. We've got 2 voicemails now and a text that we'll get to here as we're reaching sort of towards the end of this episode. As we see Kim waiting in the office, or waiting in her office, which is the diner again. I don't know if this is the moment when she finally meets with Mike. I want to make sure I get that, but I love how Saul doesn't give a shit as much what's going on there, and walks away with Bill and is almost enjoying that people don't like him. Oh, this is where Kim, she notices that the guys in the car that she mentioned to Saul when they were alone together that might be following her, she notices them and she decides to walk out and do probably the most badass thing I've seen in a television show in a long time, where Kim's just like, fuck you, and she just walks right out. She walks right the fuck out. Look at this stupid thing they have. It looks like a foot. But she walks right the fuck out, sees these 2 dudes, and goes right to the car, takes the picture, and then goes up to the fucking window like a badass motherfucker that doesn't give a shit.
Nice day.
Hey, nice day.
Are you following me?
Are you
following me?
And she repeats it with this aggressive tone.
APD? Know what? I think you're following me. And if you're not going to identify yourselves, then I'm calling in your plates because I feel threatened.
Sorry if we've disturbed you.
These fuckers drive off. She calls them out. She fucking makes them. And they just don't know what to fucking do. They did not expect that. No one expected that. No one expected her to do that. And that's what I love about this show. It gives you the unexpected. Seeing that scene, I didn't think she was going to do that. But it makes sense for the character of Kim in this moment to where she faced off against Lalo. She doesn't give a shit. Who are these fucks? Who are these? I loved this scene. Replayed it so well. Like Walter White levels of I'm the one that's knocking kind of vibe to it all. She is amazing. And I incredibly appreciate her performance here. And I'll say it again. I've said it a lot. I'm going to say it again. She directed this episode too. All those awesome shots you see, she set them up with the director of photography, the acting performances. She motivated herself. Amazing. Wow. Kim needs to be strapped. Kim is not going to die because she's going to be the one defending Jimmy at the end. I would love that to be the case just in quarantine. Wait until Kim gets found out. So far she's skidded and landed on her feet. Maybe one day she'll get shafted. Yeah, there were parallel scenes where they were buddies. Exactly. Everything from season 1 was setting up with the same situation where they make him see, where they show all the same scenes with Jimmy, where he was getting along with the guy at the front desk, getting what he wants out of the woman when he was trading the stuffed animal thing, helping the dude getting the thing out of the vending machine and bonding with him and working on a case ahead of time. So we get parallels to all of that, to how they all look at him now. It's really fun. Really well done. Really well the fuck done. How scared do you think she was, if at all? In that moment, not at all. I think she was scared when she was talking to Mike. And I think talking to Mike in the way, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but I think talking to Mike was the moment where she's starting to conceptualize the situation she's involved in here. I think in this moment, she's feeling badass. She's feeling high. She doesn't give a fuck. I don't think she was scared at all right here. Personally. I think she was like she had some pomposity to her walk. I don't think one part of Kim was scared. She was full Heisenberg Kim. Kimisberg. That was horrible. She was. I don't give a fuck in that moment. I think Mike got to her a little bit in the way that if someone like Mike is taking his time to talk to her and say what he said about Jimmy and understanding the situation, understanding who he is in association and everything like that because of talking to Jimmy, I think that she got paused for a second. But I think with these two dudes, no, not even a little scared in my mind. She's a cat. She always lands on her feet. Definitely a little nervous as Jackie C. Carly, great to see Carly Mitchell. I keep seeing Carly Mitchell, and I think you're Corey Mitchell because we have a Corey Mitchell in the live chat. But Carly, thank you so much. You're a new name. Really appreciate you popping in the live chat right now, and hope you're enjoying your time with the live motherfucking chat talking about this episode. I think those guys following Kim are the guys who called out Gene and told him to do the thing. Ooh. I can't wait till we get back to Gene. People in the live chat, people watching later, do you think we're not going to see Gene till the back half episodes, or will we see Gene at some point in the next 3 episodes? The saddest thing I'm going to say tonight is that we have 3 episodes left for this half of season. Only 3 episodes. What? Fuck you! I don't want there just to be 3 episodes left. This sucks. What am I going to have to do? Go back to watching regular TV? What? Oh my God. I don't want to go back to watching anything else. 3 more episodes. The balls. I don't think Gilligan and Gould would go soft on Kim. They're misogynistic, you bet. No, I don't think they're gonna. They don't care. If Kim, they're going all in with this Kim Breaking Bad sort of thing, and I don't see Kim having a happy ending at this point. But I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I would enthusiastically watch 2-hour silent film of Jonathan Banks and Reese Sehorn playing a single game of checkers. Can we get a crowdsourcing thing for that, Joseph? I'm excited to be a part of this. Justin Quarantine just finally caught up left. Yes, Jackie, that is a trumpet in the background. It is midnight here, but I promise if the next daytime stream I do of some kind, or maybe even if you remind me tomorrow night on Tony, or the next night, I think I'm going to be with Tony tomorrow and Wednesday in the earlier evening. If you make it a point to say, Phil, play some trumpet, and Tony okays it, I'll play a little trumpet. I just can't play it at midnight right now, but I'll play a little. That's exactly how I'll sound too. Red Alert, 3 episodes left. How many days will there be in the mid-season break? I will be counting. It's July, I believe. I don't think we've got an exact date of it yet, but it's July. Probably mid-July. I'm guessing right after the holidays. The Midnight Trumpet Show would be tough. I remember I missed the 2 places ago that I lived. I could definitely get away with Midnight Trumpet because I was in like 3 floors down from when the nearest sleeping person. But it would be tough to do the trumpet. Mike is badass. Mike is miking. I literally call Mike in the show miking. Like when he does this stuff, he's doing some miking. Okay, so he falls and asks, why does everyone hate me? They're all pissed, but he doesn't really care. So we're off to Kim in the diner later on. Let's get back into this episode and recap this. We're going to get to your voicemails. I see we got 2 voicemails. Let's play some voicemails first. Let's get into some voicemails. Area code 331.
Hey, Phil, Pete in Chicago once again with another thought. I was just thinking, I am scared shitless for Kim, too. And I think the thing with her character, everybody respects the shit out of Kim. Mike respects the shit out of Kim. Even Chuck, when they sat down, Chuck and Kim had a great conversation. And, I mean...
Oh, unfortunately, it looked like you were getting in for a good voicemail. Either my thing fucked up or the voicemail fucked up. Let me see. Oh no, you called back in. That's why you finished up. Okay.
Sorry, just to finish the thought. I think if Lalo whacks Kim, it'll be because he is like the one person who could get past that respect for her that he wouldn't kill her. Possibilities. All right, man. Keep it up. Great show.
Thank you so much. And we'll get to the text in a second too. Shields, good question. It will come out. I will do it. I'm thinking I'm going to be joined by Tony Teflon for that one at some point. Maybe we're going to try to see if we can get Bridge on it as well. But Tony and I will be doing that at some point, maybe this weekend. I'll talk to Tony in the next 2 nights and figure out when he's available and make sure he watched the series. He finished it as well. But there will, yes. I don't care how long it takes, but we will do a Ozark Part 2 review. I'm also thinking about doing a recorded video with a quick rant about my feelings about it. I don't want to get into it too much because I know some people might have not had a chance to watch it. Just to say that I'm not satisfied. I was not satisfied with the conclusion of it. Unlike how I feel after every episode of Better Call Saul, where I feel fucking satisfied. I did not feel satisfied at the end of that series. But I will do it, Shields. Don't worry. Keep me honest. If you see me not doing it, be like, where the fuck is it? I'll do it. I have a lot to say. So I'll talk to Tony in the next 2 nights, but I'll be joined by Tony Teflon for that one. So let's listen to a little bit more of this episode. So we go off to just like random amazing shots as we get this visual shot of Jimmy in the courtroom dealing with no one liking him, and I just like it. I like that we have that kind of shot. It's really fun. Jimmy doing his best George Costanza, like, people don't like me. That's great. And this is where he starts to get some calls.
No, there was no charge for the initial consultation. Today, yeah. I have an opening around 3:30. Oh, I'm working out of my satellite office. It's at Wantabo and Skyline.
Wow, that's a blast to the past, Ian.
So office is in back. Great. Your name? Dante.
Timo doesn't forget.
Saul Goodman, speedy justice for you. Yeah, I do have an opening today. Oh, hold on, I'm getting another call. Saul Goodman, speedy justice for you. Hold, please. My apologies. I'm having a bit of a rush here today.
I can't stand ya. As Saul starts getting a lot of work, as he shows up here to his...
You get these people out right now.
What, these guys?
Again, I feel like no one wants to hear me recap stuff. Let's listen to a little bit of Better Call Saul here.
See what homeboy says. Just busted him out, right?
I mean,
who's here to see Saul Goodman?
I believe this is, people can correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat, but I think this is the last of stuff we've seen in the trailers for this particular season, excuse me. So I think we're setting up for a good position. We're going to see lots of really fun stuff coming up that we haven't seen before here at the end half. I like how most of the stuff that they showed were just passive stuff that don't really have anything to do with the plot. Speedy justice for you. He needs to change his motto to reasonable doubt for a reasonable price. I like that. I like the Joseph. Reasonable podcast for a reasonable price here. Free. This is a free podcast. Join us. I can't stand you. Mary says, I bet Howard's car wound up with some heavy perfume from a prostitute. Guess his nose is too up in the air. What a snot. Justin Quarantine says, I'm actually scared for her, Kim. Also because she can't think of a reason why she would talk to Jimmy for so long.
Right here. 6. Lucky number 7.
As he hands out numbers.
With him. And 8.
Excuse me.
Nice leathers. Okay, together. And 9. Wow. Thank you all for your patience.
Oh, this doesn't have any vodka in it. What the fuck am I doing?
Justice for all.
Justice for all!
Cucumber water for pain.
Looks like Saul is eating a pimento sandwich. He is eating a pimento sandwich. He's absolutely eating a fucking pimento sandwich. Spooge! Oh, we got a Spooge.
Spooge and friend, okay.
We have a Spooge and friend sighting. Great to see early Spooge. Like I said, really subtle. I feel like that might be our Jesse cameo when we get it, something like this.
Lift at the washing machine.
As we see Saul going in.
See you next week, Rosa.
Okay, so here it is, everybody. The scene the scene of the night of the episode. Let me turn down the volume as we wait for it here. Kim is meeting people in the diner. Mike has had people tracking her, realizes that she's too smart to track, and knows he has to go and talk to her. And we get this amazing scene that I'm going to play in its entirety.
Just keep it, Shelby.
Thanks, Kim. See you tomorrow?
You bet.
They're gone.
I'm sorry?
The voice, oh.
The 2 men that were following you. They're gone.
Do I know you?
Would you mind sitting for a moment and I will answer any questions I can?
Very clever way of saying it, Mike. Any questions? You can. You slimy bastard. So Kim is getting ready to sit down, and I'm getting very excited while I'm watching this live. Like, oh my God, we're getting 2 of these characters. I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
I'm not with the police, and as far as I know, they're not investigating either of you.
I love how he refers to him as her husband. He never says Saul or Jimmy or something like that. And it's just weird to think, like, I always forget that they're actually married in this. You know, like, I don't know. I know they got married and it happened, blah, blah, blah. But it was such a low fanfare kind of wedding that I never conceptualized in my mind that they're married. I always think of them as boyfriend, girlfriend, or, lifelong friend, partner, type peeps, but I don't think of them as husband and wife. And it's just always interesting. It's interesting the way that Mike keeps referring to him as her husband. It's very condescending, but he gives her some of the most utmost respect that we've ever in the entire Breaking Bad Gilligan universe shit that we've ever heard Mike give somebody. He gives Kim the most respect. The closest person is Kaylee. Kaylee and Kim are the only two people that Mike's nice to. He respects the fuck out of Kim. And you see it. The way he talks to her. It's awesome. And let's listen to it.
I do know that you've been up to a few things that you probably would rather keep private. I don't care. That's not what this is about. I'm trying to solve a problem of my own.
What problem?
Lalo Salamanca.
Lalo Salamanca's dead.
I love the look Mike gives her there, like, you're smarter than that right now. And he doesn't need to say anything. And Kim knows exactly what he's telling her right there because Kim is a fucking player.
That includes you
Jesus.
and your husband. Most likely he'll never reach out. He's got bigger fish to fry. But in the 1,000 to 1 chance...
Okay. Right there when he says he probably has bigger fish to fry, you automatically know without a shadow of a fucking doubt that Lalo's showing up in Kim and Jimmy's fucking face. It's happening. Like, Mike, can you jinx this shit more, dude? I love you, Mike. But come on, dude. Don't jinx it.
Isn't.
We're watching anyone in my contact. That includes you and your husband. Most likely he'll never reach out. He's got bigger fish to fry.
I would pay good money, jack me off, to see Lalo and Betsy Kettleman in a scene together.
But in the 1,000 to 1 chance that he does.
And who do you work for?
I said I would answer anything I can.
Again, listen to the tone that Mike is. Have you ever seen Jonathan Banks take this tone with anybody? In a scene in Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, it's this calmness. Even when he was nice to Jesse, he was talking to him like a kid, like an innocent kid. Again, like he talked to Kaylee. All jokes aside. Kaylee, the waitress. Yeah, exactly. But the way he's talking to Kim is almost like I feel like he would talk to his partner when he was a cop. He's giving her the utmost respect that he gives nobody else. He's talking to her in shortened language because he knows that she's going to understand certain things and he doesn't necessarily have to explain it. He's not going too in depth and I can't tell you about my boss because he knows she's going to understand that. He is giving her respect in the sense that she has balls and she has power as an attorney and understanding the law better than most people, and that she's able to wrangle someone like Jimmy. Mike is impressed. And you see it. And it's awesome because he should be. And he's done his research and he knows who he's dealing with. And you see that he knows who he's dealing with. And he's like, oh, fuck, dude. Fuck, dude. She is amazing. I would work for her. And I love how they do that. And I mentioned this a little bit in the comment section, but going back and forth with somebody. Maybe that she wouldn't work in this world, but she understands how. I think she's a little impressed with the way Mike comes across too. And the calmness and the seriousness. She takes what he says more serious than anybody as well. I don't want to play just one side of it and say, Ryu is amazing. Also, as I mentioned, the color tone to the way he speaks from an acting standpoint. Meaning if you go like this, or go, hey, everybody, I'm talking like, depending on the tone that you're having, the color tone, as they say it, is in acting tonology. Mike was giving a different color to his voice and being very calm and nice. And I'm going to connect with you and I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just giving you information that's going to help your shit stay away from my shit. Respectful. Mike usually doesn't give respect when he's saber battling. And that's what makes that's one of the things that makes this scene so incredibly awesome. So let's listen to a little bit more of this scene, if I can still do this. Oh, do I have to I have to re-fucking do it? Fuck your motherfucker. Fuck that shit. Play. Every once in a while when this thing is, when I've paused it and pushed it a bit too much, I have to reload it. So, but we are going to reload it. But while we're waiting to reload, let's get to our text right here that we got. Nacho sacrificed himself for the most important person in his life. Will Jimmy fail to do the same in a similar circumstance? It's a very good question. I don't know. I think Jimmy, would he sacrifice himself for Kim? I don't know. Who is Kim building here? Is she building somebody that's not going to care and just going to be to the bottom line of the scam? I think yes. I think for his caring about Kim and what we've seen in the series so far, he would sacrifice himself for Kim. I don't know if Kim would sacrifice herself for Jimmy, though. Kim would go scam first, Jimmy second. I don't know if Jimmy's at that point yet. As we've mentioned tonight, I think Jimmy is a good person. Kim is a good person, but she's like that person that's getting a little, a little fire, and she's like, she tries smoke weed in the first year in college instead of experimenting in high school, and then she starts doing way too much stuff afterwards because she's getting corrupted too late. She's getting high off the corruption. I don't know. I think Kim is borderlining on dangerous territory. Let's listen to more.
Chance that he does.
And who do you work for?
I said I would answer anything I can.
You're the guy from the desert. The one who was out there with Jimmy.
So much of this just played real. Oh shit! I spilled some vodka. So much of this just played insanely well. It's just such a well-acted scene. Jack Me Off says Kim is too good of a person to last with the other people in the game. That's why she won't make it. Also, Pete says, oops, I missed it in my voicemail. Even though Lalo respects her for standing up to him in the apartment, that won't save her. I don't think it will save her either. I think Lalo is not leaving survivors right now in his wake. Lalo's a dangerous person, and I'm amazed that this show has created such a compelling villain. I wasn't expecting it. And he came out of nowhere. And other shows try to copy his dynamic a little bit, and we get discount Lalos here and there. But Lalo Salamanca is one of a kind, and he is amazing. Oh no, don't close out thing. Here you go.
Why are you telling me this and not him?
Because I think you're made of sterner stuff.
Whoa! Jimmy sucks, basically, is what you're saying, Mike, right?
All right.
All right.
Here's what's best for everyone.
Let me tell you what.
You spot my guys again, which I'm hoping you won't. Let them go about their business. Just pretend they're not there. And pretty soon they won't be. You and your husband, just go on living your lives.
I do know you. You worked in the parking booth at the courthouse.
In another life. In another life.
You're the attendant.
In another life.
I was.
Woo. Hi, Joe. What's going on, Joe? You really? Oh, nice, Joe. Awesome. Hey, there we go. We're on this one, too. Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa. This is an interesting view, Joe. Sorry. Great scene. I'm so glad we had it. It's long overdue. Perfect time, perfect moment. Awesome delivery on both ends. Both of them kick ass in this scene. It makes sense to have Mike have to do this. We know who's following her. But I also think Lalo is out there somewhere watching her. Discount Lalo is a great name for a band. That is a good name for a band. That's actually a really good name for a band. Discount Lalos. They all are, aren't they? Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Kim must have a split personality. On one hand, she loves the pro bono work. On the other hand, she's trying to get mega bucks from big boy lawyers. A divided personality. I think it's partially a divided personality, but I think it's partially she's trying to make up for the scammery that she's doing with doing good things. And it makes her feel like she's Robin Hoodish if she's going to rob from these people that deserve it in some ways and play the big boy crazy drug game, which, I don't know. In that scene that we just listened to, I think this is the first time she's understood weight of the situation and felt a sense of a little bit of fear. That all being said, I think by her not telling Jimmy about it, where we get later on in the episode, and we'll get to that in a second, we're supposed to think that she's just compartmentalizing it and okay with it. And just going to kind of hold on to that herself and is okay. Because if she wandered her way out, if she thought it was too much, she would have talked to Jimmy about it. That'd be a great name for another sequel, The Attendant, the Discount House. Off to Saul, heading out to court. No, we already talked about that. And he follows her off to the diner with Kim. Sky show up pretty over Saul working and looking around. He is a pariah. Someone calls him asking for a meeting today. It's Dante. Gets another call. Saul Goodman. Oh, we already talked about this. Cut to Kim meeting Mike and having that. We talked about that as well. Back in on a spoiler speeding up. What does that mean? A car drives up. Okay, so we get the beginning. This is our Gus section. We get Gus going to the home. We get to see his home life. He enters it. It's a warped Mr. Rogers kind of thing. The music is very interesting. Like, I need to play this music because it's a very interesting choice for the music for Gus here. And I strangely saw more emotion in the Gus performance in the scene. Oh yeah, this was the part with the sprinklers that I was trying to define meaning around. Remember that they agreed not to keep secrets from each other, but she just did. She's keeping a lot of secrets. Or not a lot, but that's one. She's realizing who she's dealing with. I think what Mike said to her helped encompass what she's feeling, in the sense that Jimmy is capable but still doe-eyed kind of thing, that she's made of harder stuff, that Jimmy is too caring in some ways, too emotional. Yeah, this music. This is very interesting music. As we get Gus. Hey, baby. Hi, everybody. This is Phil. I'm talking Better Call Saul. We got Gus Fring dressing. Oh, yeah, we do. I love this, though. It's original music. Soundtracky, very cool, very keyboard music, as we see Gus switching from Chicken Man to head of his meth organization here, his cartel. Well, I guess he's a captain, right? at this point. So I also like in this scene that when he meets up with Mike in a second, let me fast forward because it's just music and shit. He meets up with Mike eventually, and he's like, Mike, the guy that you have working in Polo's to try to find Lalo can't cook the chicken. He's not Polo's material. As we see Gus walking down the tunnel, people in the live chat have pointed out what this is and connecting it to the opening scene of the episode, where we see where Gus is living. Gus is, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Gus is a cyborg. I'll be right back. As we see Gus and Mike come together here.
There was a green Ford van. He was behind me for almost 3 blocks.
98 O'Connell line. We ran the plate. Guy's a freelance plumber. He's legit.
The man you placed in my kitchen.
Roy?
You told me that he had experience as a short order cook.
2 years at McDonald's in college. He's not the
Pollo.
best to make French fries. I need guys in close.
He's not up to Pollo standards.
Pollo. Sorry, I spilled some vodka on a computer keyboard. Let's hope. Let's hope I didn't break it.
2 weeks. We haven't had a ticket.
And?
All due respect, the rest of the world thinks the guy is dead.
Lalo.
Mike, trust Gus.
He's alive.
He is. We know. We've seen him.
And where is he?
Will we see Lalo next week, everybody? I almost thought as we cut over to where is he and then we cut over to Kim, I almost thought we were going to see him right in that scene. Like cut right over to Kim and have Lalo meeting up with Kim. I don't know if any of you thought that as well. But we see and we see Saul come up to the door.
What are we
And here
doing
we go.
here? Take a look. What do you think?
About what?
My new office, potentially. Come on.
Jack. Okay, so they start to check out this place, which ends up being Saul's place.
That's a long story, but
Kim here, as someone mentioned in the chat, does not tell him the truth, ends up bullshitting with him a little bit, and then ripping him apart, and then building him up. It's very curious the way Kim is dealing with Jimmy right now. Let's listen to this.
Actual paying clients. The word is out. People were throwing cash retainers at me just to say Saul Goodman is their lawyer.
Because of who you represented.
Well, I mean, that's part of it, but the bottom line is I need a new place to do business pronto. Now, this place is a shithole, but the price is right, and I think I can talk the landlord into a month-to-month. So it's temporary, you know, until I find something better. Hey, what do you think?
Justin. I don't believe Gus for some reason. I'm going to go with Mike on this one. I don't think Lalo's alive.
It's dirty. And this whole place smells funny.
It smells like piss. You smell like piss.
But the courthouse is 5 blocks away. You can't get to MDC without driving past. Parking is good. Bail Bond Row isn't far, and Taco Cabeza is just around the corner. Might be a diamond in the rough.
We're leading into the end of the episode here, so we're going to listen to the end of the episode. But very interesting way this episode ended. Again, feeling Lalo everywhere.
There it is. All right. Speaking of Taco Cabeza.
I'm starving. Let's do it.
And that is our end of our episode of Better Call Saul. It ends right there, right in the beginning half of the story, leading into what will happen next. I like the way this episode ended. Just another stop along the way as we're leading into the end of this story. Wow. Another great episode. We're going to take your questions here before we wrap things up. Got a couple questions in the live chat I want to get to. This is the last chance you got if you want to leave a last-minute voicemail or text. 781-990-8509. Thank you to everyone that's left calls and texts tonight. Thank you to our Super Chat donators. Thank you to everyone that's been checking this out tonight. Very much appreciated. Make sure you keep this video liked and you share it if you can to help it get to more people. Very much appreciated. So let's take a couple questions and comments before we call this an evening. Jimmy's new clients. How'd they all find out about him and call him at once? I think there was some creative liberties taken there in that situation to have them all call at once. But I think we're supposed to imagine that everything about the Lalo situation at this point where he's getting more, it's getting more press that he escaped the situation and some of that information is getting out a little bit more, that people are starting to find out about it. So all these criminals, as we're starting to get the first signs of him being a criminal attorney, is being set up. And all these people are coming at once. I think it was done in more of a creative way to see it all at once. But so in a show that everything is sort of trying to be accurate-ish to a certain extent, yeah, it was sort of convenient that everything sort of came at the same time. Like all the new clients all showed up at the same time. But we can think that maybe this is the first week since the other case, and that press is coming out with what's happening and figuring out who that was. So, what we're supposed to think is that information has gone around through the underworld to a certain extent, and Saul is the guy now in the area. How long will wait? I don't know if Kim's ever going to tell Jimmy about this. People, I'm curious what you guys think in the chat. When will Kim tell Jimmy about what Mike said? Will she ever tell Jimmy that she met Mike? I feel like that in a Howard payoff is all that I need to wrap up before the break. We're definitely going to get the Howard payoff, and Lalo's going to show his face. Those are going to be the two biggest things that we're going to get, I think, before the end here. I think Kim's fine till the end. I think we're not going to get another Gene flash before the end of this half. We're going to set all of this up, deal with the Howard situation right up until the end. And then we're going to have some big... There's got to be something that's going to, maybe not a cliffhanger, but something that's going to get us from the end of the season to the beginning of the next season. It's not going to end conclusively. That's what I'm saying, I guess. I feel like that in a Howard pair. Spooge definition. T. Great to see T in the live chat. Howard needs help. He went viral in the dark web. Jimmy needs to get his Cadillac soon. We'll definitely see that before the end of the series. Kim mentioned it two episodes ago. Lebowski. I'm like the Spooge dude. Like El Spoogerino. If you're into that whole brevity thing. I love it, Jack. Saul, Kim, and Mike will all meet in a future episode together. I would love to see that, John Haymaker. I would love to see Saul and Kim and Mike all in the same scene and have Mike kind of shut Jimmy up in front of her. Like, Jimmy, shut up. I would pay to see that. That'd be great. His spoogesness. Hitchcockian. I'm going to say Hitchcockian, Joseph, because my mouth can pronounce that with my drunkitude. It'd be great if we got a glimpse of Jimmy's first wife, maybe a father, and he doesn't know it. I wonder over time how much of Jimmy is truth and how much of it's fiction. I wonder if we'll get more of that. I'm more curious about the way the series is going to end than I probably have been of any series in a long time. eagerly anticipating the interesting and unexpected, or maybe obviously expected way that the series is going to end and lead into Breaking Bad. It's very fun. So let's see. I think the first half of the season will end with Lalo knocking on Cliff Main's door. It'll be a real... Wait. I gotta wait to read your comment. I do. It's not the appropriate time to read it. You know why? Because here we go. You know why, Mean Gene Oakland? I think the first half of the season will end with Lalo knocking on Cliff Main's door. It will be a real cliffhanger. Sorry. I loved it. Good one though. Good one, Ben. I can see a Gene scene last episode. I wouldn't be surprised just in quarantine. I don't think, like, my instincts is telling me we're not going to get it, but I could see them do Gene at the end, Gene at the beginning kind of thing. But I personally think they're sort of going to hold off on Gene until the last couple of episodes of the entire series. I think we're going to get I think Gene will be the very end, but I think he's going to kill himself. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know about that. That's not a prediction. That's a passive sort of, maybe he could kill himself. Like, I'm going to deal with this myself. Is he going to try to kill them and go out, like do a Walter White go out sort of stuff, like kill them and kill himself in the same, or get killed in the process? When Lalo appears, who will he appear to first? Kim. The next person that will see Lalo will be Kim. Kim and Jimmy. Maybe together, maybe not. Definitely Kim will be one of them. More likely in the first episode back, if there's 2 flash forwards. Yes. I think we will in that last section probably get... That's probably the actual answer. The next first episode in July, we'll get a Gene scene, and then we'll get a Gene scene at the end. Oh, he's not going to kill himself, you idiot. I threw idiot in there. I don't really think so. I'm just saying maybe. Or I don't necessarily mean he'll kill himself. I mean he's going to get himself killed. Is that a better way of saying what I think? Even though you can be like, that's not going to happen. Will Jimmy end up in jail? Will the Gene timeline end up with Jimmy getting caught? I think you're out to lunch and Jimmy killing himself. I don't mean Jimmy killing himself like committing suicide. I mean Jimmy getting himself killed. Does Jimmy have to somehow sell Lalo out before he's motivated to whack Kim? Maybe, or he needs to... does Jimmy have to somehow sell Lalo out before he's motivated to kill? I don't know. I think Lalo is going to connect more with Kim. And I don't know if he needs to sell Lalo out for that case. I think he's just going to be connected to wanting to use her and wanting to be connected to her. Jail is a possibility. At the end of episode 1, showed Lalo in Mexico finding his proof he drove the opposite way from America. Does Jimmy have to somehow sell out? Oh, I said that. Don't forget, we have a ton of diamonds. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the diamonds. Fucking Mary. I forgot about the diamonds. The diamonds. We have the diamonds. We have a lot to get through in 10 more episodes of Better Call Saul. That's exciting. We have 10 more episodes of this show. It feels like it's going to be enough. It feels like we are going towards the conclusion, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And no, before I get flamed here, I don't think Jimmy's going to commit suicide. I misspoke in the way that I could see himself getting himself killed trying to protect himself. But more than likely, do you think that Jimmy gets away with all of this at the end is Gene? Does he end up in jail? Does he end up reconnecting with Kim if Kim is alive? Does he end up somehow stopping these guys and living in Cinnabon heaven for the rest of his life? I'm curious how you guys in the live chat, in the comment section afterwards, how you guys think the Gene storyline ends. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And that's the most exciting part of this series. I have no goddamn clue how they're going to end the Gene storyline. Cheers, Mary. I forgot about the diamonds. I totally forgot about the diamonds. That's why I'm flabbergasted here with a response to the diamond situation. I'm like, I forgot about that. I didn't even include the diamonds in the equation. What about the line in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad when Saul is fleeing and he says to his secretary, I'll be at this certain place for a phone call. I'm going to be very excited, T, to see Francesca come in here in the second half. Now that he's got the office going, we're going to get Francesca in here. And maybe we'll get some more of the setup for that particular situation. We did get a little bit of it in the Better Call Saul scene where it was the Breaking Bad timeline Better Call Saul scene with Francesca. Rewatch that scene to answer that question a little bit. But I do think we're going to get more of that kind of interaction and more crossover. I've said it from the very beginning. A lot of people are piling on the perspective now. I think if you watch back my old reviews, I might have even said it in season 1. I do think we're going to get Breaking Bad timeline stuff in Better Call Saul. Everyone's saying it now because they're seeing how this is panning out, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. So we're going to get a lot of answers to some fun questions. Gene chokes on a Cinnabon. What would be left for Jim and Kim? Nothing really. When it really comes down to it. Maybe Kim gets the diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. He gets whacked, says John Haymaker. So a lot of possibilities. But what isn't a possibility is I'm definitely back here next week to talk about more Better Call Saul. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. If you can, please share this video with a friend. I'm going to go right now. Any last minute questions, we'll take it right now. But other than that, everyone, thank you so much for checking this out. Please make sure you, as I mentioned before, check out the Vivid Kiwis breakdown of this episode later on. Very much appreciate Vivid Kiwi putting out a tweet to help support the show and spread the word. We got some people checking this out just because of that. Thank you so much. And where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? I'm trying. I'm buzzed as shit right now. Everyone, if you haven't already and you like this video, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Share it with a friend. I will be back tomorrow night to talk about Outer Range. I'll be back with Outer Range discussion with Bridge 4 in Tony Teflon on Tony Teflon's channel. And then I'll possibly be out on Wednesday night as well with Tony to talk about some From predictions. 2 hours and 23 minutes. Did I do it? No, I'm a little over I'm a little over it tonight, I think. We'll see. Do it, Amazon, Lord of the Ring rumors, and Scuttlebutt. I will definitely be talking about the Lord of the Rings show. And Joe and I are going to be doing a What Did Joe Think in a preview show at some point coming up soon, especially once Better Call Saul ends on a Sunday. Got to get Joe's thoughts on everything. So we'll do something like that too, and some Scuttlebutt, some predictions for the Lord of the Rings and the Game of Thrones series, which we'll both be covering coming up soon. I thought you were reaching for a Dick On song. I'm always reaching for a Dick On song. Don't threaten me with Dick On, because it could be a Dick On night right now, everybody. It's never not time for Dick On, Dick On, Dick On. It's always time for Dick On. Oh, good. Awesome. I'll be back next week for more of this, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.